afternoon, flight fans. This is the desk-bound aviator, or Steve, you could say. We're located here at KPHX Phoenix and taking a look at the venerable JAR Airbus A320NEO. Terrific aircraft, beautifully detailed. Been around for years and it's still one of the best X-plane aircraft available that I know of. And I thought we'd take a ride in this to explore a phenomenon that I've been studying recently. You recall I did a flight in the Boeing where we discovered the integrated approach navigation system of the FMC. I don't think the Airbus has that, but it has something similar. And let's do a flight today from Phoenix over to San Diego and see if we can do an RNAV landing pretty much automatically, except for the final touchdown, the final stage. We'll flip it off for that. But to get things started here, first thing I'm going to do is just open some doors. We've got the passenger door open to the rampway there. Let's see, we can open up the right side front, and we'll make that go away. And let's see, yeah, that's opening now. Get some cargo doors, and maybe the right side rear door. And we'll call up the ground handling feature of JAR. This is a little add-on that JAR provides. And we'll select some things, including these trucks with food supplies, all those nice plastic wrapped sandwiches that everybody enjoys on airlines. We'll let a fuel truck come in and refuel us. And we'll let all of that stuff drive up. It's kind of fun to watch some of these things. That loader over there, that's a cargo pallet loader. And for some reason it looks like my rear, oh there it is, now it's opening. I think when you drive up some of these vehicles, the doors open and close automatically. So that's what's going on there. I love that cargo loader to watch. You'll see there that it'll load a pallet. First he's got to raise himself up. There goes the pallet. Pretty neat. And we've got some bags and boxes and things like that being loaded in the cargo bin. So while that's all going on, let's get inside. Take a look at the interior. The first thing I want to do is just press my key right here, and that'll take away all those crazy reflections on the NDs and so forth. And we'll open up the fuel so we can adjust that. Now we could go to SimBrief and do a whole session in SimBrief to find out what our fuel allocation should be. But actually we can do it right here in the Airbus. I'll show you how. So first we go up here and turn things on. Start with the batteries. And we've got ground power going to the aircraft, so we can tap on that. And we always want to adjust the temperature to make sure that's even. Put on the beacon light, let people know we're here. And of course the nav and logo light, that's most important, so they know what airline we're flying. It's American today. All right, we'll turn on some other lights. And then we can go up here to the ADIRs. They call them ADIRs on Airbuses. So set those over to the nav mode. I'm going to rotate this over to STS. And the system knob we can turn up to 1, and then we'll hit enter. And it's set for quick loading, so we'll have about 7 seconds to go before we're ready to roll with the navigation. Come back down here, and let's just adjust some lights. That one's okay. It's funny how these dials sometimes go in different directions than what you think they're going to do. Sometimes you rotate the mouse to the left and sometimes to the right in order to get activated. think that's about it. We don't have to do the FO side, so it's the same. We can come down here. Let's see, we've got some lights down here. There's a floodlight. Okay, we can turn on the transponder over on and on. And that pretty much takes care of that. We can rotate the map display over to plan mode so we can see our route. And then we can go down to here. Now you can pop the FMC in this version of the A320. Just tap the screen there, and that can move around. I'm so used to using it on the console that I don't even bother doing that. We haven't set where we are yet, so we can't do anything with the display here. So first thing we want to do is go into the init page and set up our route. We're going to go from KPHX Phoenix / to KSAN San Diego. We enter that and we align the IRS. Flight number today, let's see, we'll jump over here to Safari and take a look at American Airlines 2671. So AAL 2671. So flight number. Cost index will be 30. And a cruise altitude, I think it's 280 they're flying today. Yeah, 28. So 280. All right, let's go to the fuel. Now, if we just tap this and then hit block, we'll enter what's already in the fuel selector here, and it doesn't give us much time. So if we increase that, say up to 6,500 kilograms of fuel, we get a extra time of 141, which is certainly adequate. So let's refuel based on that. You'll see that enter here in the lower ND. 6.5 looks good. We can let the fuel screen go away and go back here. Now from here we can go to the flight plan. And we're at KPHX, and because of the winds today, we're going to be taking off on runway 08. And I believe there is a SID we're going to be using. So let's look at that. Oops, wrong page. Yeah, we're going to be using Firebird 1 transitioning at Mohac. So we'll go KPHX departure 08. Scroll down to Firebird 1. There it is. And Mohac is our transition. We just enter that into the flight plan and then insert it. And I don't know, yes, there is an airway J2 to Hogs. So we'll go to the end of this. To Mohac. Tap that. Oops. Unknown point type. All right, clear that out. Say insert, yes, okay. Now tap Mohac. There we go. Now we enter an airway J2. J2. And the destination for that is going to be Hogs, H-O-G-G-S. I think we'll put it there. Whoops. Try that again. H-O-G-G-Z. I'm sorry. I screwed that up. H-O-G-G-Z. Tell you, if you do anything wrong with these gadgets, they let you know. Put that in the flight plan and insert it. Now let's go to KSAN. We're going to be landing on RNAV runway 2727. So we'll scroll down here to RNAV 27Y, I believe it is. Pull that up. There's our approach plate. Yeah, 27Y. So we'll select that. And our star is Lucky 1 with a transition of hogs, of course. Lucky 1. And we're going to be using Lindy as the approach connection. And hogs as the transition into the runway. Or maybe it's the reverse, I'm not certain. We'll insert that. Now let's take a look at the whole thing. You can just tap on airport, and I guess we are at the beginning here, FUTEP. Let's take a look at our route on the chart there on the map. Yeah, FUTEP is the beginning. So what we do is just tap this little up arrow, and we'll scroll ourselves through the entire route, taking off to the east, banking around. Oakley, Firebird, Judith, Mohawk, Hogs. Hogs was the beginning of the star. And then we connect. There's our descent. Asset Jeeves. There's Lucky. Lucky connects to, what does it connect to? It's Lucky Lindy, isn't that interesting? I'm going to go back here to Lucky and then Lindy. Let's look at that on a chart. So here's Lucky. Okay, so we've got Lindy to Vita. So let's look at that just a little bit closer. We've got Lucky, then Lindy, then Vita. Lucky, then Lindy. We've got a speed thing. Browse. There's Vita. Not sure about browse. Whoops. Let's zoom in a little closer on that one. Yeah, there's something going on here between Vita and here. Not too crazy about that. So it's after Lucky. We'll take Lindy and then go to Vita. Maybe it's browse that we don't need. So I'm going to delete browse. Let's see what happens when we do that. Clear out the discontinuity. Insert it. And that looks a little better, doesn't it? So we're going straight from Lucky through the speed adjustment to Vita and on into the runway. That looks better. All right. Back down here, now we can go. I don't think there's any other discontinuities. No, there's not. So come back to the beginning. And now we have things set up. We can update our Barrow and so forth here. We're at Phoenix. Let's go ahead and complete the flight plan first, though, by going to the performance page. The MCDU here in the Airbus is a little simpler than the Boeing in some regard, at least in the JAR expression of it. There's basically two sections. There's the airplane prep, and then the route prep, the flight route preparation, and it all takes place on basically 2 pages. So when you get to takeoff here, all you need to do is just tap on the V speeds. We've got a takeoff V speed of 150. I'm going to leave that at 150. Some people recommend adding 15 knots to it. I'm going to opt for just leaving it at the way the MCDU spells it out. And I could be wrong about that, but it seems to work for me. Let's tap that and tap this guy. I'll do our automatic trim adjustment. Tap the engine out number, and we'll put in an F60 for our F speed. Flex speed is what it is. Okay, so that basically takes care of it. Our Barrow here at Phoenix is 2986. Go up here and make that adjustment by scrolling that always get the direction wrong on my scroll wheel. 2986, right there. That's it. There's no other switches to set there. I'll go ahead and dial in 150 for our nominal rotation speed. And our altitude setting is going to be 28. We'll go ahead and set the brakes a little later. That's about it. All right, let's go ahead and tell people to sit down, get themselves ready. And we'll turn on the APU. First, in order to do that, let's turn on some fuel pumps. And we'll wait to see how our APU loads up. It takes a few seconds for it to get up to speed. There we go. Now we can put on the APU bleed. Packs are off. We can turn them on now, just give people a little air conditioning, and then when we start the engines, if I remember, I think we'll turn them off. So I think it actually works automatically, but we'll leave them on for right now. Make sure people are comfortable. Lights are okay as they are. Let's go ahead and call up our pushback. But before we do that, though, we better get rid of all the vehicles outside. So I'm going to just go outside and take a look there. Yeah, we've still got everybody out there. So let's call up ground handling and just tell those guys to drive away. And I'll have to call this up again and tell them to all hide, because they tend to just park right behind the aircraft, which isn't too cool if you're trying to back up. I'll let them drive away right through everybody else. There we go. And the doors close automatically. And you can see they even changed the indications here, which is nice. Okay, so those guys backed up. Now, like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and hide them by doing that. So that's all set. And now that we've got our APU up and running, we can turn off ground power. First, we'll go into the panel up here and just click that guy, and then we can hide our ground power tractor. And everybody's aboard, so we can close the passenger door. There that goes. All right, so then we call up our pusher. Let's see, we're going to be going in that direction to the right, and then taxiing down to the left a bit. So we'll just back up here on this line. Looks good.
Ground to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Right.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Thank you. Let's rotate that to the arc position. Okay. So, kind of pro forma procedure here. We'll get the engines started, back ourselves up, and get started down the runway. So why don't I give you a little break here, and I'll meet you out on runway 08, and we'll take this thing off and head our way to San Diego. Okay? So I'll see you soon.
Approaching 8. On runway 8. Power set. Knots. V1. Rotate. Positive climb. Gear up. Autopilot 1, cross-check. Speed checked. Flaps 1. Speed is not okay for next flaps position. Speed is not okay for next flaps position. Speed checked. Flaps 0.
Oh, welcome back. We are just about to reach our top of descent mark here. And of course on Airbuses you have to do that yourself. It doesn't start the descent automatically. I will do that by flipping that little, flipping in the center of my finger of the altitude bug. Put us in the top of this bracket area. Sometimes you get an alert you need spoilers, and if that's the case, we'll use spoilers to slow our descent. Well, we got a ways to go here before things get interesting regarding this RNAV feature. And I will bring you back at that time. Okay, we're making our descent now over the hills toward San Diego. I'm sure they're orthophoto hills, but I have to investigate that. Just keeping track of our waypoints here. Actually, we can pop this, come up here and put that right next to our screen, which is kind of nice, actually. And then if we hit airport, we'll see where we are. Jeeves is our next one, 7,000 feet, and it looks like we're pretty right on target there. We've descended below 10,000, turned the lights on, I've got my auto brake set. And let's see, our target waypoint is CIJHI. Actually, no, it's Rebo, right before the runway. So that's pretty low. I'm not sure this is going to really be a definitive experiment here, my theory. Now we're headed toward Lucky and Lindy. I think that has something to do with Lindbergh. But we'll ride it out and see what happens. A little bit of clouds here. When we get to this red spot here, we'll get a deceleration action. Start to put in some flaps.
We need more drag, sir. Approach phase activated. Spoilers full.
Okay. Now what's going on? Alright, we're banking, fine. And now I'm going to go ahead and put on the approach button.
Ground spoilers. Spoilers armed. Speed checked. Flaps 1.
Foggy day here in San Diego.
Speed checked. Flaps 2.
Here's Rebo. We're getting close.
$2,500.
Speed checked. Flaps 3.
Probably about time to drop the gear.
Gear down.
Performance space, yeah. 133 or so. 133, somewhere in there. Be our threshold speed. Still descending on our standard descent route. At Rebo right here, that's the question, whether we'll descend further than that automatically or if we don't. It may be too close to the runway, I don't know. We'll have to see. I've got the APP button on. Just see what that does for
Radio
us.
altimeter alive.
leaving it on auto throttle for the time being. Boy, it's a foggy day here in San Diego. Foggy evening. All right, there's Revo, there's 2000, and take a look at that. You notice the altitude bug? It is continuing to descend.
Speed check. Flaps full.
There's the city. And there's the runway. And we are descending nicely right to it. Put on manual throttle. Haven't touched the autopilot.
Above.
Speed about 133.
Minimum.
There goes the autopilot. And I am now controlling the aircraft. So it went off by itself.
200. Retard.
Nacelle. Spoilers full. Reverse green. knots.
And we'll go off here. And no auto gate. It didn't work, folks. They're going to have to jump. All right. Anyway, that was fun. So that was an interesting experiment. It did land well, and the system brought us down in nice order on an RNAV runway. Takes some practice. It's a little hairy at times, but you can do it. And the key seems to be this button right here, the APPR button. You do not turn on the LS because you're not using ILS, but you're using APPR to guide the aircraft down past the descent point to a point closer to the runway, and then the system kicks out automatically. At least it did for me that time, and it seemed to work pretty well. So thanks for watching. Glad you were with me. Hope that was interesting for you, and see you soon. This is Steve. Take care. Have a good day.